That sucked.
Hello and welcome to Week 12 preview, Week 11 review. I said it backwards as I've compared to what I've been doing this year, but we have a very special guest making his debut on the show. It's been long awaited. Josh
Sup?
came in
Nailed
strong. Came in strong, and Jared this week. No,
Of
Brett.
course, back at it again.
Call him bailing out Brett. I'm just kidding. Brett doesn't have power right now, guys, so pray for him. Anyway, another person we need to pray for is my team, and specifically CJ Stroud, because Joe Mixon is stealing all of his touchdowns, and so is Laramie Tunsil. Offensive line so bad, they're taking away touchdowns. This one hurt. Josh, do you want to gloat at all while you're here?
I mean, all I can say is that T. Higgins is a whole lot better at quarterback than C.J. Stroud is.
T. Higgins
Preach
pretty
it.
much scored what Josh Allen and C.J. Stroud did this week, so that's cool. And Jamison Williams, I hate you. Go back to gambling, fool. Anyway,
He
next
finally
up,
made it back on the field just to cook you.
yeah, literally, he came back this week and freaking Anyway, we've got Brett beating Compt, taking his first win of the season home, as was unanimously predicted by myself, Jared, and George last week. So, shout out to us because we predicted the first win of the season. Next up, we've got Ross and Clint. Clint had a really good week, but Ross had an even better one. This is a kind of an unlikely shootout. I mean, shout out to Ross, securing that number 6 seed right now. Moving on, we've got Jared and JGF without a quarterback last week. JGF, and as we all predicted, Jared took this game. No surprise to anybody, but once again started their own quarterback. Jared, so how's that feel doing that every week?
It's a great feeling, actually. It makes me feel like even when I win, I could be better, you know? Like, honestly, why would you ever want to start the right quarterback? What
True.
would be the point?
It's a good fair. Me with my wide receivers.
Yeah, or my tight ends. My tight ends have pretty much been that way all year, too. Because, I mean...
Yeah, who saw that coming?
And not that many people thought Jonnu Smith was going to be...
You literally started the worst of the three. That's funny.
Yeah. But, I mean, likely early in the season was that way. You know, I started other people over him, and then I started starting Fryermuth, and it's just been whatever, you know? Who needs to start their best players if you win anyways, I guess?
Well, I would love to start my best players because it might actually help me win.
Yep, that would probably help with that, actually.
Anyway, speaking of starting your best players, we've got Hunter, who pretty much only has his starters and very little depth. But hey, it's working to this point in the year because he has mostly avoided injuries and rolls on to 11-0. Early in the day Sunday, it looked like Disco was going to have a chance in this matchup. It didn't hold true, but I wanted to see it so badly. And we've got Devin and Adam, another one that we all kind of predicted this to do. Devin took down Adam. Not a super impressive performance from Devin's team, though. So, a little bit of weakness in the armor, potentially. Hinting into anything. Anyway, with all of that done for this past week, I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Jared, as we call him.
Yeah, good old Dr. Jared, who didn't know half these injuries happened until he sat down at the computer. So yeah, there was a lot of injuries this week, and I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to that. I sat and watched most of those.
I had to go look for a lot of these just to let you know.
Yeah, I saw most of the Sunday games through what do we call it, Red Zone, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But like when you put all these in here, I was like, man, I didn't realize there's as many as there was. But anyways, so to start off, Tajay Spears has a hamstring strain. As we know, that could be anywhere from a week to 5.
And he's already missed time with it this season.
Oh, has he?
Okay. I think it was the same hamstring.
That's an important piece of knowledge there. Yeah. So I would definitely expect him to miss some time, at least a little bit. It could be. Well, actually, I don't know. Is he still on the Titans?
Yes.
Okay. hey, I was about to say that could be wheels up for Tony Pollard, but I'm like, I don't even know if they're on the same team anymore. Anyways, so yeah, he got injured. Zamir White with a quad injury. I don't even know how much that matters, considering his lack of production this year. Although I could be underselling it, but yeah, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
I was
it
right.
slightly matters with the next injury.
Irrelevant.
Yeah. Alexander Madison?
Yes, because they're expecting Madison to miss some time, and Zamir probably won't.
Oh, I thought you were talking about wheels up for what is it, Ahmed, whatever his name is?
Amir Abdullah.
Yes. Wow, I went full racist there. Anyways, yeah.
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on. Darnell Mooney, hamstring injury. As we all know, Darnell Mooney is wide receiver 8 on the season. Actually, I don't
Just
know.
like we all thought.
9. Okay. Yeah, just like we all thought. Of course, Darnell Mooney being a top 10 wide receiver. He had a hamstring injury, likely not serious. They're also on their bye, so hopefully he won't miss any actual game time from that. Puka, of course, can't stay healthy. We should call him Puka can't stay healthy instead of Puka Nakua.
No, Puka can't stay healthy, Nakua.
Yeah, I guess that maybe would be better.
Puka Nakua injury. Get it? Like, anyway. Go, Jared.
Anyway, he seems to be pretty electric when he's on the field playing. I mean, he's had like 2 games where he hasn't been, but it looks like he was injured in both those 2. So,
well, he did catch a touchdown on the injury, and he did play the rest of the game, but
Puka
on the
Nakua's not even hurt.
he
No, I'm talking
got
about
hurt
week
in the
one.
game. He played through it, but he had a chest injury in the game.
yeah.
It might have just been the wind knocked out of him, but there could be some bruising in his ribs.
When I looked it up, it said he threw up after he landed on the ball in the end zone.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dr. Josh here to
Yeah,
fact check.
Lad McConkey injured as well. Now, when you listed that injury, I was like, oh, he's definitely missing time, but I didn't realize he had played through it. But
Yeah, that happened on the first catch of the game, and then he proceeded to have 5 more for like 112 more yards.
well, we'll see on that.
What was the injury, Jared?
What's that?
Never mind.
Oh, I didn't actually say the injury.
There.
Anyways, Dr. Jared's missing today. He had an AC joint sprain. Gabe Davis tore his meniscus. I thought he got injured weeks ago. That's how relevant he's been in fantasy. Mike Evans is due to return this week from his injury that he had back. That was what, week like 4 or something, right?
Week 7.
It was way later than that. Debo is hurt, but again, he's irrelevant. I don't think he's probably not even top 20 wide receivers.
And 39.
Wow, I'm cooking right now. He had a rib and oblique injury. Jake Ferguson had a concussion. Seems like that goes around for any players that Dale likes.
I did not like Jake Ferguson. I'm sorry. What?
Maybe it's Brett. One of you two like.
Yes, Brett does like Jake Ferg, but concussions this year have been contagious.
Concussions just go around for any Saints player,
Say Jake
specifically
Ferguson.
named Chris Olave.
Jake Ferguson plays for the Cowboys. What?
I know.
Anyways, Sam Laporta had another injury. Could play. I don't know. He's pretty much a trash can at this point. biggest bust of the year.
Hey, he's had 3 good games in 10 weeks. 11 weeks.
But yeah, I mean, tight ends in general have been pretty trash. But yeah, that's rounds out the injury list, or at least that's all I got on my list here. So
Smooth is what I would call that. That injury section was smoother than butter. Good stuff, Jared.
Yep. Thanks.
We're gonna move on. We got myself and Devin. A couple quick notes on this game. I have no idea who to start. Welcome to Every Week in Potato Land. And I only I don't have Josh Allen, so I think Devin's gonna beat me. Do either of you disagree?
No,
Nope.
I would agree on that. It's Devin's gonna take it here. Well,
You're
hopefully we'll
correct.
give you some of that good mojo, and he'll actually lose to you, and then you'll be happy.
True. Josh, do you have anything to say?
You should start that DJ Moore guy.
Should I actually?
Yeah, you should do it.
Dude, he's had 2 good games all season, and they were week 3 and 5. Probably good there, but it has me. You have me thinking about it. I'll say that.
You're gonna regret it either way.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's DJ Moore or Kate Otten. I'm not taking any of those receivers or Dobbins out of that lineup.
I don't know.
That's tough.
I think DJ Moore's a better QB1 than Cade Otton.
Okay, why are we talking about QB1?
He's
What about
going in
Justin
the
Fields,
super
though?
flex slot.
Sure, I could put Justin Fields in there. Josh, off camera, predicted like a 70-yard touchdown run, so.
That's
you never
right.
know.
He's gonna get one play and it's gonna be a touchdown.
That would probably score more than DJ Moore the entire season, actually.
If it's a long touchdown, you'll get huge points in this league.
That's true. That's the strat. Speaking of the strat for Brett this season has been to lose, and I think he will accomplish that strat this week. Does anybody else have any opinions there?
No, I think Ross's team will score a decent amount of points. Since Derrick Henry's not playing the Steelers, he'll probably return to glory and have 14 touchdowns. So
I don't know. The only dangerous players on Brett's team is the Jameis Winston, Jerry Jeudy stack whenever they drop a bomb.
yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't have a 70-yard touchdown against us. I'll be honest.
Jerry Jeudy just had 142 and 1. That's crazy.
I know.
Jameis threw for almost 400 yards, and the Browns offense scored 14 points. Incredible.
It's crazy. I mean, that's some
Incredible.
Jameis numbers though, for sure.
No, you know what? Some Jameis numbers when the freaking field goal kicker can't kick freaking field goal. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. He was awful.
There's a lot of it.
The AFC North kickers, other than apparently our
Yeah, Chris Boswell put a hex on the rest of them.
Yeah, they're all bad.
I was calling Dustin Hopkins the best D-Hop in the league about a month ago, and now I feel like I want to kill myself.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that happened.
Josh, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say that I've been calling the Ravens kicker washed all season, and it just proved it whenever they missed 2 field goals against the
It was the
Steelers.
playing surface, guys. It was the playing surface.
Yeah, it was a playing surface as Boswell kicked 6 for 6.
He knew about it, and Tucker didn't.
Yeah, it's because he's used to it, Josh. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we all agree Ross will win that matchup. We've got Jared and Hunter. The undefeated season versus the likely champion, I will say, with Jared's roster. It burns me to say that, but it's just probably true right now.
Gonna go for the 2.
That's called the back-to-back, but I like your style, I guess. I think Jared's going to win. I don't know if either of you guys see Hunter continuing to be undefeated.
RIP undefeated season.
Jared.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was gonna continue. I was waiting for him to say something other than RIP undefeated season. Yeah, I think I don't like how that we everyone picked me to win this game. But I guess we'll just hope that that doesn't jinx me in the end. Honestly, this game doesn't really matter. I was kind of chalking this up as like, oh, this will be the game that I beat Hunter. I think it'd be kind of poetic if the undefeated team from last year knocked off the undefeated team this year in week 12. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's got a lot of injuries, so it's not like he's not injuries. He's got a lot of bye weeks.
This is the week 1 matchups. Again, just so everybody knows.
Oh, is it?
These last 3 weeks, you'll be playing the people you played to start the season. So, Jared looking to get revenge for the week 1 loss. Devin looking to get revenge for his week 1 loss. Yeah.
I did not know that's how that was going. I didn't actually, to be honest, I couldn't have told you that I had played him already.
You did. That was week 1, and you lost. Guess you didn't hear me.
No, that I had played him. I didn't remember
Yeah,
playing.
I know. But we're all of the opinion that Hunter will take his first loss to give him an all ones record. 1-1-1. Obviously, 11-1. Anyway,
That'd be great.
next matchup we've got JGF and Disco, 2 dispersal teams again. That was another fun part about week 1. This is just reminding me of it, is that we had the all dispersal week 1. So JGF and Disco and Clint and Kumpt. I personally have JGF winning this matchup because Baker, A-Chain, AJ Brown, Pickens, and David Njoku should have a nice game. But I don't know if Josh and Jared agree.
No, actually, I think I don't agree at least I think that Disco is going to beat JGF. I think a lot of it is because I saw JGF mess up his last week so badly that I just think his team's not that great, and I don't
Not
think they'll
motivated?
be that good again. Well, I mean, they scored 9. He didn't score 100 points last week, I don't believe. So, not exactly a championship team there. I think that A-Chain is a terrible running back and is a bad runner in general. So, and Warren is barely involved, and Giants are great against Baker Mayfield. So, look it up. Statistically, he's never had. I'm actually just lying. I have no clue. I was gonna say I have no clue. I was gonna say statistically, he's never had 2 touchdowns against them, but that could or could not be true. I don't know. But yeah, I think with that being said, I think JGF will lose this game. I think Disco's gonna pull this one out, get his 4th win.
Ooh. Push for the playoffs. Late season.
Good.
Josh?
I've got Disco in this game too. He's got a good many points on the bench, so the percent win chance at the top is not really accurate, I don't think. He's got the Will Levis, Calvin Ridley stack. You never know what you're getting from that. He's got Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's back. You never know what you're getting from McCaffrey. He can drop a bomb any week.
You really like to say people are going to drop bombs.
James
America,
Conner's
World
just
War
been a
One
beast all season. James Conner's just going to keep rolling. I don't know. I just like what I see on this team.
Do you think Quentin Johnston's going to drop a bomb?
I think Quentin Johnston might drop a bomb.
What about Bryce Young? Do you think Bryce Young is going to come in super flex spot and drop a bomb on the Chiefs?
I don't think Bryce Young's dropping a bomb.
He might drop a turd.
I'm hoping he drops the bombs.
There would be a higher chance of him dropping a turd than a bomb.
That is his version of a bomb. Anyway, moving on. We've got Josh and Adam in this matchup. Now, for me, I'm sorry, Adam. You have 2 quarterbacks this week. So he's got some upside. He has the big 4 again. The big 4 is back. But I think that big 4 has no chance against Josh's, big 8. Josh does only have 1 quarterback, though, thanks to injuries and bye weeks. But I still think Josh is going to take this one.
Bye weeks. Daniel Jones is on a permanent bye week.
He sure is.
You're right.
Yeah, I agree with this one. I
Wait,
think Josh-
number 4 quarterback in drills? They had Tim Boyle taking reps over him? What are they doing?
I'm telling you, he's on a permanent bye week.
I've never seen a quarterback go from starting to almost cut so fast.
If you're gonna commit, you might as well commit, I guess.
For those that don't know, this is all just so that the Giants don't have to guarantee his contract because of the physicals thing. This has happened to quarterbacks before. Who was it a few years ago in the Broncos? When they had, or no, it wasn't the Raiders. Did Jarrett Stidham started a game in 2021
I mean,
or 2022?
they benched Russell Wilson last year, so they didn't have to pay him.
Russell Wilson had it last year, but there was somebody else. I think it was Carr on the Raiders. But yeah, this is just like an annual trend of whenever a big money quarterback gets on a bad team.
Bad. When they get bad at football.
That too. So, Jared, do you have any words about this match?
Not really. I think Josh's going to win this pretty handily. I don't think it'll be that close.
Okay, moving on. The final matchup of the week, we've got Clint and Cumpt. Now, these are two pretty similar teams, two dispersal teams that I think were nobody expected to do anything. But what Clint has done is absolutely take advantage of the trade market. I mean, he's got a war chest of picks. 3 early first-round picks, 1 late first-round pick. Not early. Sorry, not early picks. He has 1 early and a couple of middle first-round picks. So, in a few seconds, so we'll see what Clint can do with this roster going into next year. But at least for this week, I think he takes home his 5th win of the season, which would be a pretty good year for a dispersal team, in my opinion. Do either of you agree?
I also agree. I think he's going to win. Bo Nix is probably going to drop another bomb.
Of course he is.
He does that a lot. Yeah, I think Clint will win this as well. I think he wants to lose this, I think, still at this point. I don't know. He's kind of in a weird spot with 4-7. But I think he'll probably squeak out the win against Cumpt.
That is that. And now, from this past week, I kind of did this in the backwards order. This is entirely my fault. But we got our busts and surprises from last week. And we're going to start it off on a bad note. Jared, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I think for my last week, my busted surprises last week.
Yep.
Why are you showing this week then? Or okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. Yes, so my bust last week, as you have up on the screen, that's what was confusing me. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. Was Kirko Chains.
He dropped the bomb.
Yeah, he did drop a bomb, and it wasn't a good bomb. It was one of those turd bombs.
It was a Bryce Young bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in general, he just he didn't do well, and he struggled at points this season. But this is probably his worst game of the year, I bet.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
Yeah. He's just been weird, inconsistent. The Falcons in
White
general.
dude trying to be thug. Shock.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last time that happened was, him, I guess. It's always been Kirk. It's always been Kirko.
You like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did badly. He only had 3.92 fantasy points. I don't have those stats up, so you just pulled them away from me. Sorry. On 27 attempts, he only had. I actually can't even see these stats. Where is it at? Am I blind? Oh,
you work at an eye doctor. What is going on?
3 yards. A touchdown, an interception. Did he fumble the ball?
He did not. He did not throw a touchdown.
Oh, well, I can't see which line that is. I thought that was a touchdown. Anyways, that's fine for the week. Who's up next?
We're going to have you go next again, because that could not have gone worse. So we're going to have you talk about another white guy, since you love them, apparently.
I do like my white man. So my other white man quarterback who likes to be thug is Taysom Hill.
Why is he thug? Why does he like to be thug?
Because he's good at football.
Because of what he did to the city of Cleveland this week?
That is true. That's kind of a thug move. Thug life, for real. But yeah, obviously a little surprising. I mean, I feel like Taysom Hill has a week every year that he goes off. I think this is his highest peak, though, right?
Yes. In week 5 of 2022, he had another insane game, but I don't know what the line was.
I think that was as a quarterback.
I believe you'd be right. I think that was as a quarterback.
But yeah, he just seems like there's a couple games a year where he just goes off, and he's 34. It's kind of insane, honestly, at this point, what he's able to do. But yeah, That's my surprise of the week for sure.
He literally had a 75-yard touchdown run where he was the fastest dude on the field. And that's not only impressive because he's white, but also because he's a tight end / quarterback / special teams guy. And also, he's 34. Like, Tyreek Hill at 34 will not be, like, I don't know. He won't be as fast as he used to be. But
No, for sure.
Taysom Hill had 138 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. I've never seen a tight end throw a pass, catch 8 passes, and run 7 times in a game. So there's that too.
Yeah, I mean he does a lot of things that nobody's ever done. So
He also played snaps on special teams in this game. So literally, the Browns' defense and special teams is still seeing him in their nightmares. I'm sure. Anyway, speaking of seeing nightmares, C.J. Stroud. What he sees in his nightmare is just Joe Mixon in the red zone.
honestly,
It's kind of brutal. Mixon had 3 rushing touchdowns. The Texans kind of manhandled the Cowboys. He just doesn't need to throw in the red zone because they can just hand it to Mixon. They keep throwing it. They'll get the receivers get tackled on the 1-yard line and Mixon plunges in for the touchdown. That's like their bread and butter. Or they'll run it from the 35-yard line and the entire Cowboys defense decides that Joe Mixon has COVID and they have to social distance. I'm not mad at all. Bad week for CJ Stroud. But Josh, you got another bad week from a Buckeye.
That's right. We got bust of the week, Terry McLaurin. I mean, he's been playing good all season. Guarantee he was locked into every person's lineup who owned him. And he drops an absolute turd.
Bryce Young
1
bomb.
for 10 yards. Only 2 targets an entire game is just like a crime. The Commanders' offense just looked trash.
Yeah, that Eagles defense was nuts last Thursday.
I think Jaden Daniels only completed 4 passes to wide receivers the entire game.
That's a wild stat. I didn't know that. Wow. That's insane. Yikes. Well, Josh, let's get to a more positive note. Why don't we, Josh? What do you got for us?
I mean, this guy, you know, he's had some decent weeks this season, but he's mostly been mediocre. And this week, he just decided he was going to drop 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's a bomb.
I mean, I definitely didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think anybody did. I don't know if anyone saw the clip, but one of the touchdowns he caught, he just kind of like flung the ball into the air. And his family was sitting in the stands, and his family ended up catching the ball that he just randomly threw in the air.
That's crazy.
Which is a pretty cool. Maybe the most surprising part of the good week was that. But this is another painful moment for me in the matchup. You know, I've got the super flex in me and Josh's game. T. Higgins, surprising week. I mean, I knew coming back that he'd probably have a decent game. I expect him to be like 5 for like 80, maybe a touchdown. Nope, 9 for 148 and a touchdown, and not only that, it had to be a 40-plus yard touchdown, so he got some bonus points for that as well.
Didn't he almost catch a Hail Mary at the end of the game, too?
I have no idea. I was in bed. I did not watch the that game, but
I think he got his hands on it, but he didn't bring it down.
wild. Noah Brown would never drop a Hail Mary. Now,
Only on a ricochet.
that's true, but hey, ricochet counts. Now we're going to go ahead and jump back to week 12, previewing. We're going to go through our bold predictions, but before we do that, we're going to talk about me and Jared last week. We both went with negative predictions. Now, much like this whole week of football for me, it went terribly. I had Sam Darnold under 200 total yards, 1 or less touchdowns, and 3 turnovers. He had 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and fumbled once. So he completely destroyed my bad prediction, and yeah, that was kind of brutal. And Jared had a homer bold prediction pick from last week.
Yep, and I was close on it. I mean, it obviously it wasn't exact. I predicted that Derrick Henry would have under 60 rushing yards with no touchdowns and have 2 fumbles, one would be by T.J. Watt. So he didn't really hit all those marks. He only had 65 yards, so only 5 yards off there. He did end up having a touchdown, unfortunately, which I felt like if he didn't have the touchdown, this would be a more accurate prediction.
Yeah.
And he did fumble it once. He did not fumble twice. I didn't even realize when I made that prediction that he hadn't had a fumble loss since, like, someone said, like, in the last 300 attempts.
Well, but you did
I
say
think it was
last week.
500 some.
You did say last week that you predicted 2 fumbles, but you said you didn't know if he was going to lose either one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But it worked out. I mean, the Steelers ended up winning, so that worked out too for me as a fan and my homer pick. But I wasn't quite on the dot.
That fumble was huge because it got the Steelers another one of their 6 free field goals on the day.
Yep.
Needed every one of them.
Yes, we did. Every single one. And honestly, and I know it's like one of those things, like, I was watching the game, I'm like, we just need to get a touchdown. Like, if 2 of these were touchdowns, we'd be killing the Ravens. But one of the times we didn't go for the field goal, we threw an interception. And I'm like, honestly, I would have rather the field goal.
That was on a 3rd and goal.
No, yeah, I know. But, like,
Okay.
just
Gotcha.
he when he rolled out in that ball he threw, he should have just thrown it out of bounds. Darnell Washington wasn't ready for the ball anyways. And it was also a bad ball.
Justin Fields scores the touchdown on that play, I'm just saying.
You think he hits Darnell Washington?
No, I think he would have just run it in.
Oh, well, maybe. Yeah, okay. I was like, I don't think that Fields hits Darnell Washington there. He was triple covered. He was just trying to throw it up, and he threw it up a little too much.
He threw it up to the Ravens. Anyway,
Yeah.
with all that being said, I'm going to look ahead to this week. And, you know, I'm just going to have you start us off, Jared, because you've been our bold prediction genius this year. You've hit a couple, like, pretty accurately, and also your crazy Jamar Chase prediction that was way under what actually happened. So I'm gonna let you kick us off here.
Yeah, so my prediction for this week is a little bit of, not a homer, but it's like an anti-homer almost. Like, I think
you hate the Ravens so much because you're a Steelers fan.
So much. And I think that there's a lot of Ravens fans who are taking, like, you know, at least, you know, we did lose to the Steelers, but at least our defense showed that they're good. I disagree. I think the Steelers just played very badly on offense.
True.
So I think that Justin Herbert is about to light the Ravens up. I think that they're going to curb stomp the Ravens, and the Ravens are going to be like 4 games back in the division. But anyway, that's not my prediction. I think Justin Herbert, wrong Justin, is going to have 3 touchdowns and 385 yards.
Passing yards. Oh, that's just passing. That's not. There's that total.
No. Straight up passing yards.
So you think he's got 400 total yards?
I mean, considering what he's done for rushing recently, I guess that would kind of be what I'm saying. But, I mean, I could change it to 400 total yards. He's going to have 385 in the air, though. Oof. This Raven passing defense is horrible. It's actually the worst in the NFL.
Yep.
They just got a bye week after playing the Steelers passing game. So, I don't know. I think that Justin Herbert's going to light him up. That's my bold prediction.
I like that prediction. And speaking of lighting him up in the air, Tommy DeVito. We're throwing an homage to George last week. He's not with us this week, but I did pretty much tell him that I would, give him that because the Giants were on bye this week. But last week, George started to say this before I cut him off. He predicted that Drew Lock would start, so Tommy DeVito is getting the start, so his bold prediction is off to a better start. He said Tommy DeVito would go 24 of 40, 210 yards and a touchdown. 6 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown. Before the game, SportsCenter is going to post an article making fun of his Italian heritage. The Giants are going to win the game. Tommy DeVito, after the game, is going to post on Instagram with Darius Slayton getting a New York slice. For those that don't know, that's a piece of pizza after the game. That is George's full prediction. And, we kind of just let JGF run wild with this stuff. And, if he ever hits, we're going to go ahead and have him buy us all lottery tickets with his picked out numbers. But yeah. So there's your homage, Mr. JGF. And Jared's being a homer. It's time for me to be a homer. For the first time this season, my bold predictions: Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm predicting 6 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Seahawks. I can see the Seahawks and Cardinals game being a shootout, and I don't think the Seahawks secondary is all that good. So Jawan Jennings just had a really good game against them. And Jawan Jennings, I'm sorry, but he's not as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. So, Marv, big game this week. And, speaking of rookie wide receivers, Josh. Josh?
All right, my pick for the week is Malik Neighbors. Tommy DeVito's starting. He's probably an upgrade over Daniel Jones somehow. And they're playing the Bucs secondary, which I don't think has been very good this season. The couple times that I've watched the Bucs secondary, like that one Thursday night game against the Falcons, they got torched for like 510 yards. So I'm feeling like there's going to be a lot of passing in this game for the Giants. And I think Malik Neighbors is going 10 catches for 150 and 2 touchdowns this week.
It's probably going to be like 25 catches the way the Giants offense works. But, yeah. I mean, Neighbors had 12 catches and only had 115 yards at one point earlier this season. So, we'll never know. Josh, how was your first potato show?
It was great. Definitely never coming back again.
Well, we will have you back maybe the next time that you beat me in fantasy football.
I'll only be back next week to gloat if my bold prediction hits.
Okay, that's a good point. Good point. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.